Oh. 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 अंतर्ज्योतिः बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्पर ज्योतिर्ज्योतिः स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिः शिवोऽस्म्यहम्. ॐ गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. नारायणसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I want to offer my gratitude and my pranams to the greatest beings that I have met, Sri Vijay Vinaykarji and Sri Narasimha Prabhuji. Vinay Vinaykarji is the founder of SEWAK, Society for Establishing Vishwa as a Kutumba. And Narasimha Prabhuji, most of you may know here, is a founder of Light of the Self Foundation. These two have dedicated their life in the service of humanity. All the waking time they have offered to the betterment of all of us. And it is the light of these great masters that has enabled me to bring whatever I have brought you here today. All right. So, with that said, let's jump into today's topic. So, a treasure hunt. All of you would know what a treasure hunt is. Many of you may have even played a treasure hunt game. So, usually in any treasure hunt game, there is some kind of a map given to you with many clues, and you have to go on a hunt. And the hunt leads you towards a grand treasure that you can claim when you solve all the puzzles. Because usually these games are, there'll be many puzzles. Each puzzle leads you to next destination, and by solving it, you can go on to the next destination. So on and so forth until you meet the final treasure. So as a simple example here, there is one puzzle. I have 4 legs and no feet. When you get tired, you have a seat. So very easy, no? It's referring to a chair. So like that, you will be finding in any treasure hunt games many many puzzles. And as you keep solving them, you will be able to move. So the fundamental idea of a treasure hunt game is that there is some treasure that is of importance to you and me. And you and me have to go towards it. And that is when we will be able to claim ownership of it. Right? So that's what a treasure hunt game is. And though you and I may not play this game this way, in a way, when you look at our journey of life, in a way, it is like a treasure hunt. So we go to work. There's a treasure that you and I are seeking. And for that, we do so many things, so many puzzles we have to solve. What are the puzzles? We have to go to school, all those 14, 18 years of schooling. For what? For going to a place called work. So like that, and each day in the school is one new puzzle. So like that, in a way, all our life's journey can also be seen as a treasure hunt game. So There is one treasure hunt video here, which let's first see, and then you will understand what happens in this. So you see what happened, right? Some treasure hunts end up being like that. We get lost. We may lose ourselves. We may not know where we are. So this is typically any of our life's treasure hunt. Please notice, any of the things that we are seeking in this world ends up more or less becoming like this. After 1 lakh rupees, there is a desire for another 1 lakh more or 10 lakh more. After that, 1 crore. So like that, the treasure that you and I are seeking, it continues to, there is more treasure, there is more treasure, and it is a never ending game. And many a times, you and I may even lose ourselves in a hunt like this. So this is one kind of a treasure hunt, right? A never-ending treasure hunt, never-ending game of treasure hunt. But there is also another special treasure hunt, special treasure, which actually you and I don't have to travel outside to search, but is actually something within you. It is there already. See, unlike a treasure hunt, which is outside, where you have to go and search and get, this is already within you and me, but you and I have to discover it. In a way, it is hidden in each one of us. It's a wonderful treasure, and actually, the path to it is also so much more enjoyable because it is full of lot of treasures on the way also. But it is something that is hidden, is not evident, is not visible. It is very, very special. It's in a pitch dark place. It's in a place where you and I cannot really see, much like, right now, how this screen is looking to you. It's a pitch dark place. What is visible here? Nothing is visible. But you know what? See, a game where there is only constraint and no clues is not a wonderful game, no. So to search this treasure, there is also one help that is already available. And the help is available in the form of this special stone. By the way, I also came to know about this stone as I was creating this presentation. This stone that you're looking at on your screen is called as Upperlite. Upperlite is a very special kind of a stone. In the daylight, when these stones are lying around, they look like any other normal stones. No value, nothing more than a stone which you and I kick or throw and don't necessarily pay attention to. But these stones, the Upperlites, they have a special property. And the property is, especially in the darkness of the night, and if there is a UV light that falls on them, they glow. They glow like how you're seeing, as if like gold. It is as if like they have light within them, but so far it was hidden. So, super light. So today we will be looking for some such super light, and the hunt will be within you and me today. So, what is the dark place that we'll be going to, and what are the super lights that you and I will find, and what is the light, the UV light that you and I need to use to search? So, that will be our journey for today. But before we take that journey, there is one great being who has enabled the journey for you and me. And it is his wisdom that you and I are going to be using today. So first, let us offer our gratitude to Sri Krishna Paramatma. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat krupa tamaham vande Paramananda Madhavam. In life, you and I need divine grace. And divine grace is always present. But you and I have to discover that also in a way. We have to become ready for that. And when that flows, like how it is said here in this shloka, even the one who cannot have legs will be able to cross over a mountain. And the one who doesn't even know how to speak can learn to speak. So it is not that the physical impairments will go away, but the grace of the Bhagavan will create such wonders. And today, first, let us seek the blessings of the great Bhagavan and all the great masters to help us in our own discovery. All right. So, to go through our journey, we'll be using, as I said, some of these super lights. So this is from Bhagavadgita. This is in a chapter in Bhagavadgita called as Akshara Brahma Yoga. Akshara Brahma, Akshara, that which doesn't deplete itself. Akshara Brahma, that which is all pervading. So realization of that, Akshara Brahma Yoga. So this is one shloka from that. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra sanshayah. Sri Krishna is saying, those who relinquish their body, those who die by remembering me at the moment of death will come to me. Have no doubt about this. So this is what Sri Krishna is saying in this shloka. Then he continues to say, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. He's saying, what you remember, what I remember at the time of giving up of the body, at the time of the death, that state is what one attains. So, that state is what one attains, depending upon what one is absorbed in. So, this is the two of the first super lights that we are going to now examine. So, there is a wonderful story found in Bhagavatam of Ajamila, which relates to these two shlokas. So there was this wonderful being called as Ajamila, who was a very pious being, a great devotee of Narayana, used to do puja and live his life in a very dharmic way. A great devotee, and he and his family were all great pujaris of Narayana. One day it so happened that Ajamila went to a forest, and there he saw one man and woman engaged in certain sensual activities. He got so tempted and his mind wandered, and he kind of wanted to be with that woman, and she happened to be a wayward woman. So he went behind her. He forgot all about the work that he was doing with his family. He left his family. He went and got engaged with that lady. He married her. He had even children from her. However, the love for Narayana hadn't left him. So he named his last son Narayana, the son who was born from this new lady. And now the time of death had come. And he was, all he could think was his son. And at the moment of his death, because of the way he had lived his life, Yamadutas had come to take his life away. And he was about to lose his life. And at that time, in a moment, Narayana flashed in his mind. He called out Narayana. As soon as he called out Narayana, Vishnudutas came. And they stopped the Yamadutas from taking this Ajamila away. They said, no, no, no. He is now called out for Narayana. Narayana means he has to come to Vaikunta. So they sent the Yamadutas away and they took him to Vaikunta. So this is the story in our Bhagavatam related to this particular shloka. So the way you leave your body is what you attain. Oh, I have to only call out Narayana and everything is done. So this is the story. That's what it told, no? So there was one great trader. So he had also heard this story and he decided, you know what? Usually in business, no, we have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. If plan A fails, we have to have plan B. If plan B fails, we have to have plan C. If that fails, plan D. If that fails, don't ask that, but usually business people think like that. Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So what he thought, okay, so he only had named his son Narayana, I will be better than him. So he had 4 children. He named them with the different names of Vishnu. Narayana, Keshava, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And he had a great store. So, and he had trained his children also to look after the store. He was a very, very shrewd businessman, constantly thinking about his business, how to grow his business, what profit comes, what losses happen, who has to give what, all the things, all the time. And now his death time also had come. And he is on the deathbed. He is now thinking about, okay, what is happening? Who's there in the store? All that. So he wanted to see. So he called out, first of all the names of his children. Narayana, his first son came. And then Keshava, second one came. Pradyumna, another one came. Aniruddha, the fourth one also came. So do you think he also could go to Vaikunta? No, it so happened. You know what he said before he died? He said, you fools, if all the 4 of you are here, who's going to look after the shop? One of you. What have I taught you all this life? With that, he died. And the story goes that he went to Yamaloka. So now, apparently there is a big contradiction. Sri Krishna is saying, if you remember me, you will come to me. But Ajamila story, that point is proven. With this trader story, it seems to be that maybe there is a doubt. So first let us understand what is the secret that Sri Krishna is pointing at, and what the secret that you and I can realize from these 2 stories. So to realize that secret, first we have to figure out something about you and me so that we can go a little more deeper. So if we ask the simple question about you and me, what are we made up of? Simple question. So in a way, what is very clearly visible, touchable, feelable is various of our organs, our body parts, right? Various body parts. something which is visible outside, something which is not visible inside. And how do they work? Much like how any mechanism, any mechanical thing, like how a clock works, or how a car works, or how anything that moves works, there are a lot of parts, and these parts are much like these mechanical things. So for example, the heart is constantly beating, your blood is constantly flowing, and because of that, your body parts, different body parts get energy, and oxygen is getting supplied. So like that, there is a constant mechanism at play. So in a way, you can think of it like various mechanical things. Body is made up of various mechanical things. In fact, that is what you also find. Some of the modern medicine is able to replace some of the body parts with various newer and improvised mechanical things. But are they closer to what the original is? That's a different question. But in a way, the current day scientists and engineers have been able to figure out, for many of the body parts, you can bring replacements. If, for example, unfortunately, if somebody's limbs are cut, you can find nowadays various kinds of prosthetic limbs. And some of these limbs are very close to how a human limb system works. So that's the mechanical part. Then it is not just the mechanical part that enables you and me to function in life. It is also, there's a whole lot of chemistry and electronics that is embedded in our body. So for example, you may think of some sweet, and suddenly your mouth starts salivating. So in a way, some message from your something called as a brain came to your mouth, and some change happened in the mouth, and that started salivating. So some kind of the saliva was already there in your body somehow, in some other form, and now it is secreting in some other form. So in a way, chemical change, which is triggered by this electronic message or electrical change, right? Which is what you and I call as our neurological system and our various hormonal systems. So there are all these kinds of things happening constantly in the body. Depending upon what kind of a thinking that is happening, various kinds of electrochemical changes are constantly happening. If you are sad, there is one kind of electrochemical change. If you are angry, another kind of electrochemical change. If you are happy, one another kind of electrochemical change. So like that, the body can also be seen as a factory, which is like an electrical and chemical factory. So that's another aspect of your and my constitution. Last but not the least, as I already mentioned, there is a thinking part. There's a thinking part, much like a computer. See, what is a computer? Fundamentally, a computer is something which constantly takes and runs some instruction and keeps repeating the instructions done by some programmer. So somebody called as a programmer who has fed these instructions to the computer. Based on that, the computer is constantly, repetitively doing it. Doing what? Processing it. And based on what it processes, it simply then gives a signal. If let's say you want to see a picture, there is a computer, there is a CPU or central processing unit inside your machine that runs the code, the software, what you call as, and that makes the screen flicker. So like that, some changes appear. Much like that, you and I have something where you and I think various aspects of our life. How was yesterday? What they did to me. That is one kind of thinking. What I want to do tomorrow. What where I should be going. Another kind of a thinking. So something related to past, something related to the future, and also, of course, right now something is happening here. What is that? Why is this happening? Why not that? All these kinds of various thinking. So in a way, you can see that the thinking, that computer part is also within us. So like that, you and I can see that there are all these things which are mechanical, electrochemical, and computer kind of equivalent in our body and mind also. So this mechanical and electrochemical part is what you and I can touch and feel. This is visible to our the five senses. That's why these can be called as body. Whereas the thinking part, which you and I call as Oh, I am thinking about tomorrow. I'm listening to you. I'm processing that. That wherever you and I are thinking, that is not visible, because that is what you and I call as the mind. Mind is not visible, but you and I know about the mind because that is where you and I say, oh, I'm thinking. So in a way, it's also like a body, but it's not visible to the eyes, or not audible to the ear. So it is not accessible to these five senses. So we call it a subtle body. So like this, you and I have a gross body and a subtle body. So now, what is that you and I are in the journey of? You and I are in the journey of going to a dark place and finding out some secrets. And the body parts is what you and I have studied in biology. So the body parts is not where you and I think, where you and I feel. What you and I feel in the mind, what you and I think in the mind, is how the body part feels. If the same body part, same eyes, if you are happy, it is nice. If you're angry, it is burning. So body parts essentially, in a way, they respond to how your mind is. So therefore, our inward journey is better if we go deeper into our mind to understand what Sri Krishna is pointing at. So what is that? So now let us ask the next simple question. Mind. What is mind? What is mind made up of? So I already mentioned, mind is something that is not visible. So then how can I ask this question? What is mind made up of? How can you answer that? Very simple. If you really think a little deeply, you can also figure out that mind, in a way, how do you know that there is a mind? Some thought occurs. That jalebi that I had, so nice it was. That a friend of mine, what shirt he was wearing, so wonderful it was. How she complimented me. So like that, there are various kinds of memories. That is what is available in your mind. So in a way, you and I can say mind is nothing but a mountain of memories, which is what in Vedanta is referred as chitta. Chitta means your memory function. So in a way, what is mind made up of? The mind is made up of chitta, memories, various kinds of memories, all kinds of memories. Some of the memories you may call it as pleasant, some of the memories you may call it as unpleasant. Some of the memories make you feel sad, some of the memories may make you feel very happy. Some of the memories may make you feel angry, some of the memories may make you feel very, very joyous and jumping and running around. So like that, you and I, our mind is nothing but a mountain of memories. Okay. So now then that begs the natural question, if it is a mountain, how big is this mountain? Because if I have a mountain, I have to know how big is this mountain. Because today we are taking an inward journey. We are looking into secrets that are already hidden. And by now you would have figured out, where are these secrets hidden? In the place called mind only. And mind is, now we are saying, it's like a mountain. So if you and I know what is the length and breadth and height of the mountain, we can decide, oh, I want to be top of the mountain. Because top of the mountain is where the vision is broader, bigger. So if I reach the top of the mountain, game is done, right? So therefore, you and I have to figure out how big is the mountain. Before I give a clue to that, many scientists and great masters say the mountain, the chitta or the memory mountain is like this iceberg. Many of you may know icebergs. They are in the Arctic and the Antarctic parts of our oceans, near the North Pole and the South Pole, where the temperatures are very, 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 very cold. There these icebergs are formed. Some of the icebergs are so huge, much like one big city. And the thing about icebergs is only a part of it is visible above the water, and a lot of it is underneath, hidden. And many great masters And the scientists refer to your mind and my mind as this iceberg. Meaning what? Only some of it is visible to you and me. So if I ask you, what did you eat yesterday in the breakfast? You would be able to probably recall and give a clear answer. But if I ask you about 23 years and 2 days and 7 minutes back, did you have any food? Now it will be very difficult, no? So like that, some of the memories are not accessible easily. But the thing about the mind is, even those memories which you and I may not be able to access it, which is not conscious, is also there, is hidden. It is called subconscious part of our mind. So like that, mind is constituted of a conscious and a subconscious. And it is said that the subconscious, meaning what? What is not visible to you and me, is greater, much, much greater than what is visible to you and me. But still, you may be wondering, Are, he asked the question how big it is, but he's explaining about some 10%, 90% conscious and subconscious. How big it is? The clever answer I would want to give you is nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how tall, how wide your mind is. Who knows? But we want to go over this. We want to walk over this, and we want to be the winner of this, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, all the troubles of life is only in the mind. So we have to somehow know how to scale this. Is it even possible? It is very much possible. And that's the whole secret that all the great masters are teaching. You may not be able to scale the whole mountain, but there are some special tricks. As we go further, we will know. Okay, all right. So far what we have realized? So we have a body and a mind, and the mind is where all our thinking happens. And it is through the thinking that you and I feel what you and I feel in life. And the thinking place is called as a mind. And the mind is like a mighty mountain of memories, which nobody knows how big it is. However, you and I can definitely examine how this mind grows. How does it grow? This mighty mountain, this memory bank or the memory mountain, how does it grow? This grows by you. Who? You or me. Who is this me at the center of this? How this memory mountain grows? This you or me is whoever you think you are, whoever I think I am. A puzzling answer, no? Whoever you think you are is that me, and that me. As a simple example, let's say you are a child. You are a child, and let's say somebody comes and gives you a chocolate. So now you eat that chocolate. What did you do? You took the chocolate and you ate. That is like a small action. And when you ate that chocolate, how did you feel? Very nice. It left a small impression in your mind. The taste of the chocolate is very nice. Now, when it left that taste in your mind, next time also you would ask, if somebody shows that thing, you would say, I want that. Why? It was very tasty. So like that, you may then now start asking, I want more of it. So slowly in your mind, you are constantly saying, I want chocolate. I want chocolate. Every day you would go to your mommy or daddy and say, I want chocolate. And mommy or daddy, realizing that, oh, now you become a laborer, or somebody who craves for chocolate, uses that to make you do things. Oh, you want chocolate? Get 100 marks. I will give you 5-star. Oh, now I have to get good marks to get a 5-star, to get a chocolate. All I wanted is chocolate, but they're making me go to school and study. Ayyo, Rama, like that game of life starts happening. So, but now the chocolate, which I tasted first, now as I started wanting more and more, it started developing a tendency in me. What is the tendency? I want more of it. I want more of it. If there is a chocolate and something else next to it, let's say a cucumber, where a mind which is only seeking chocolate goes towards chocolate. Over a period of time, this is what becomes a vritti or a pattern. Oh, this person only wants chocolate. He doesn't want to eat anything else. So like this, each thing that whatever you and I do in life, this cycle of this action, this impression, this tendency, this pattern, it starts developing, which is what in Vedanta are referred as karma, sanskara, vasana, and vritti. So like that, as we keep doing things, we keep one by one adding to the impression. And as the impression becomes deeper, it becomes a vasana or a tendency. As the vasana deepens, it becomes a vritti. Much like, imagine there is rain happening. And when the rain falls on a mountain, how does the water flow as a stream? If you ask that question, you may say, the rain is falling, and wherever it falls, if 2-3 different, let's say, water drops come together, they make a small stream. And as they make a small stream, they may become a slightly bigger stream. And wherever the ground of the mountain is slightly weaker, there the water is able to flow easily. If there is a rock, it will not flow. But if there is a softer ground, it will flow. And as it flows there it becomes a path. And as it becomes a path, now next water also follows that. And as the water comes down, all these small streams merge and they become a bigger stream. And now they start flowing. And wherever they flow, it starts making a road, kind of the path of the flow. And that is what you and I call as a river. So in a way, that simple drops that came as rain now has become a mighty river. Whether it is Ganges or whether it is Kaveri, all of them are so mighty rivers that in some places they are so mighty that even ships can travel. So like that, a river happens. A river of personality happens. So when you see somebody, you may say, oh, this fellow is a very angry fellow. Whenever you look at them and whenever you interact with them, their responses are very angry. So a deep pattern of anger is developed, or a deep pattern of some people, you don't even talk to them. They'll only simply tell their sad stories. Their tendency in the mind, the pattern in the mind has become such that constantly whoever they find, they want to catch hold of them and tell their sobbing story. So like that, this memory mountain grows by whatever you and I are in a way repetitively doing. So to explore this little further, there is a wonderful video. Let's watch this and then we will continue. So you see how what you and I do as a small thing repetitively is what really becomes our tendencies, our various big rivers. What you and I call as, oh, the personality is nothing but small choices that you and I made and cultivated over a period of time. For example, some of us may say, you know what, in the morning, if I don't drink coffee, I cannot even function. My head is always very buzzing, it's fuzzy. How did it happen? One day when you were small or whenever, you first had one taste of coffee, and then you thought, okay, let me have this taste of coffee again and again. Over a period of time, your body got acclimatized to that particular taste, because those the coffee has a certain chemicals, and the body now has become accustomed to wanting that. Your neurological system gets stimulated because of the chemicals in that coffee. So like that, now a deep rooted vasana, a tendency that I have to drink coffee. If I don't drink coffee, I cannot function, develops. Much like that, everything else in life is. We keep on simply talking about our behaviors as, oh, this is my, I get angry. What to do? That is my nature. No, it is not your nature. It is something that has got cultivated over a period of time. You may not be aware of how it got developed, or you may not remember how it got developed, but it got developed. The tendency to be angry, the tendency to be sad, the tendency to be upset about life, or some of us may constantly only talk about, come, let us do something. Oh, what if I fail? The tendency to look at only failure in life. So like that, life, essentially, the situations of life are nothing but something that you and I create from these memories, isn't it? If you look at this whole pattern, the memories is what is appearing as behavior. Behaviors is what is leading to a particular outcome or situation of life. So in a way, this cycle, what is this cycle? The karma, sanskara, vasana, vritti, or the action, impression, tendency, pattern. This cycle is what you and I are calling as life. And what is the basis of this? The memory that you and I have created and accumulated. Where? In the mind, in the form of our chitta, memory mountain. So let's look at some simple examples. You saw that video. In that video also, you saw the same person. What if he had been every day practicing simple things, just like that, as, for example, brushing the teeth has become now a habit pattern for you and me. As soon as we wake up, you and I have to brush the teeth. Otherwise, we may feel very awkward. It has become a habit pattern. But when we were born, was it like that? No, it got developed over a period of time. Much like that, in that video you saw a person who exercised, who always kept time, who looked at how to eat the right kind of food. Over a period of time, that became his habit pattern. And the same person, as another example, you saw how he developed a so-called not very healthy habit patterns. Much like that in life. If you take an example of a student who excels, how did they excel in the first place? Did it just happen simply out of blue? No. Somewhere that student decided that I will consistently sit and study. And as they studied, they were able to do better. And as they did better, they got confident that I can also do. If somebody else can do, I might as well do. I can also do. What is the difference between the other person and me? In life, you have several kinds of examples. There is J.R.D. Tata and there is a beggar also. What is the thinking pattern of a J.R.D. Tata? He thinks, I will do something that is fantastic and wonderful so that everybody can benefit. What does a beggar think? I have no capacity. I will simply live my life by begging. It is only the thinking difference that makes them do things, whatever they do every day, differently. A J.R.D. Tata every day wakes up and thinks about what is that new thing, best thing that I can do that is going to benefit everybody. A beggar will simply sit and think, how can I beg? Where can I beg? What drama will I do today? So like that, a student who excels has decided that I will do, that I will bring out the best that is possible by me. Similarly, somebody who is constantly cribbing about life is also somebody who has developed a habit pattern of looking at only failures. Ayo, I'm not good enough. I cannot do. Where can I do? I was born poor. Or, look at my family. So as one keeps doing it, self-doubt only develops over a period of time. Even the smallest thing, come, let's go out of the home. Let's go for a walk. Walking, what if the earth opens? Everything becomes a disaster for them. So some are like that. Like that, any other habit pattern also, kindness also. See, you have the capacity to bring out kindness and love, but you and I have to practice that over a period of time. Somebody called a great master. Okay, so now we all revere our great masters, Mata Amritanandamayi, Acharya Vinay Vinayakar, Narasimha Prabhuji, Ramana Maharshi, like that, great masters. Did they become great just overnight? They also, like you and me, had to every day face the same life, same situations, same husband, wife, same money problems. But they decided what kind of qualities they want to bring out in every situation of life. So as they did what they did, the people around them started calling them as, wow, look at their life. Come what may, their life, they always are pleasing. They're always very kind to others. So it's a decision that they made. And this is what Patanjali Maharshi says, Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is vritti at the end of the day? Is a pattern of thinking, is a pattern of behavior. And what is chitta? Memory. So what is yoga? When you realize that it is my own habit patterns that I have cultivated, which are there as my memories, and that I am playing out unconsciously. And when you become conscious of this, then you can decide, look, the situation of my life depends upon my memory. Whatever may have been the memory is done deal. It is old water. It is watered down the bridge. It has already flown. It is like water down the flush. It is already flushed. What do I want to create next? I will not create it based on only the so-called sad memories. I will pick and choose what are the right kind of memories through which I want my life situation to be. So in a way, we can say, you and I can say, situation depends upon your and my memory. And that you and I can cultivate consciously. So definitely, when we think like that, you and I want the most favorable situation to happen, isn't it? Who amongst us doesn't want the most favorable situation to happen to you and me? Each one of us, if I ask you, what is the kind of situation you want? You want the most favorable situation, isn't it? But the only question in life is, what is the most favorable situation for you and me? Is it being a king? Is it having lots of wealth and car and money? Is that the most favorable situation for me? Or is it being the most successful businessman that everybody talks about, everybody applauds about, everybody writes about? Is that the most favorable situation? Or being the adventurer, running, skiing, jumping, horse riding, going deep sea excavation? Is that what is most favorable situation for me? What is most favorable situation for me? When you and I ask that question, and when you and I do a fundamental analysis, what is fundamental analysis? What is that really is important? And in a way, that is when you and I can realize that whatever may be the most favorable situation that I can create in life, at the end of the day, as a human, when you look at the life, the fundamentals of as a human comes into life crying. Human lives the life crying. Also, when he grows out, crying. Like that example of the dying trader that we already picked in the story. Even in the last minute, what was running in his mind? Only about his trade. You fools, can you not be in the shop? So now the question is this as a human, any external situation, it involves any of this. Is this what you and I can call as most favorable? No, there is an alternate choice. And that alternate choice is what you and I can see in the life of a great master, such as Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, what is said about Sri Krishna? When he came, he was laughing. Where was he born? In a prison, but he was laughing. How was he living? Constantly somebody came to kill him, but he lived laughing. Whatever may have been the situation, he was laughing. How did he go out of life? Laughing. So, if there is a favorable situation, if I'm constantly laughing in my life, wouldn't that be the most favorable situation? Because whatever may be the external situation that I create may not necessarily bring that inherent capacity out. Continuously laugh. What is the secret that Sri Krishna understood that made him laugh? That is what you and I also have the capacity to bring out. To bring out your and my inherent Krishnatva. And that's the next secret that Sri Krishna teaches. So through the first two shlokas, he taught us the secret of how you and I need to realize that situations of our life is due to our own chitta. So that is what he said. What you remember, Arjuna, is what you become. So doesn't mean that simply I remember his name and simply that happens. No. He essentially pointed at what you constantly contemplate on. So like how you saw through these several examples, your and my tendency in life is based on what you and I have cultivated over a period of time. So suddenly, like that story, the dying trader thought, oh, if I simply call out the names, I will also go to Narayana. No, Ajamila could realize Narayana or go to Vaikunta because he had cultivated that kind of habit pattern before he became a little wayward. So when he called out Narayana, all those memories gushed into him. All those feelings gushed into him. How? By chanting the name of Narayana, he used to feel peaceful. If you've never felt it, how can you suddenly, by simply calling the name, become one with Narayana? So it is a habit pattern that you and I have to cultivate. That's the first secret that Sri Krishna is taught through those two shlokas. Now Sri Krishna is teaching you and me, again, how to bring out that inherent Krishnatva, because the most favorable situation for you and me in life is to live life like Sri Krishna. What does it mean? To live life, to laugh all the time, come what may. Not that external situations were always favorable for Krishna. External situations were most unfavorable. People would constantly want to kill him. People would constantly want to hurt him, constantly want to give him bad names. But in spite of all of it, he was completely okay. Even in a place called Warfield, he could simply be very patiently clear all the doubts of Arjuna. Such is the mindset of Sri Krishna. And such is the mindset that you and I have the capacity to develop. So, for that, the next secret Sri Krishna is giving is Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha Mayar Pitamano Buddhir Mame Vaishyasya Samshayam. So, Sri Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you do your duty, whatever your duty may be. For that Arjuna in the Kurukshetra, it was fighting the war. Do your duty. But remember me. with your mind and intellect surrendered to me, do your duty. If you do it like that, you will attain me. Have no doubt. Please see, in life, when we go and purchase any item, we get a warranty card or a guarantee card. It comes with lot of disclaimers. What is the disclaimer? It is applicable only in these conditions. You take a mobile phone and you decide, okay, it has warranty for next 3 years, and you go and let's say put it into a bin of water, a bowl of water, and you pick it up. It is not working. You go and give it to them. They ask you what you did. Oh, I put it in water. Oh, sorry, warranty not applicable. But you only said 3 years. But see here, there's a fine print. What is the fine print? Only if you use it under normal circumstances. What is normal circumstance? Oh, that you read this big book. It has only 337 pages of what is normal usage. Like that, when you and me purchase anything in life, it comes with lot of disclaimers. It is not a assurance, all guarantee. But here is Sri Krishna. He's simply saying, do whatever you're doing by remembering me, with your mind and intellect surrendered to me, and you will definitely come to me. Meaning what? You'll become like me, like how Krishna was. How? Laughing all the time. My God, that is what you and I want. We just now saw what's the most favorable situation for you and me is to bring out our Krishnatva, to be like Krishna. But to be like Krishna, he's saying, remember me and do your duty. So, what is that you and I have to remember? What aspect of Sri Krishna that you and I have to remember, which made Krishna laugh all the times? That is a big story. But to tell that secret in a very short and simple way, the secret sauce. See, when we go to companies, we ask, why is this company successful? What is the secret sauce of this company? So the secret sauce of Krishna is actually written in a book called Bhagavadgita, which when you study under the guidance of a Sadguru, you also can get it. But the fundamentals of that secret is what you can see here. It essentially teaches that you are that ultimate divine. And to realize your ultimate divine, and when you realize your ultimate divine, is the way to become free in life, is the fundamental message. And this was the secret sauce of Krishna also. But this is simply not a statement. It cannot be simply, oh, I am divine. It's simply not a statement. It has to be realized. And how to realize? Step by step. See, I cannot simply, I wish, and suddenly pongal appears in front of me, or pulav appears in front of me, or ice cream appears in front of me. There is a step-by-step process to how to make, how to prepare. All that is there. You and I have to know that what is the secret sauce and how to make that secret sauce and how to create that secret sauce is what Bhagavad Gita is all about. So this is the fundamental thing. When Sri Krishna says, remember me, what aspects he wants you to remember? Not his nose, not his eyes. What is the way he looked at the world? The drushtikona, the viewpoint. What is the viewpoint of Krishna? Is the viewpoint of a realized being. The viewpoint of, if there is a fellow called God, what is the way God may be thinking about the world? What may be the way God may be looking at the world? Is the viewpoint that Sri Krishna gives. In a way, a wonderful way of looking at it is, if you imagine a circle, and the circle, when you say viewpoint, it means what? A particular angle, maybe 30 degrees, 60 degrees. So whatever is visible in the 30 degree or 60 degree is a viewpoint. But what is the viewpoint of somebody like a God? Because somebody like a God has to accept you, me, and all other nonsense of this world, all other beings of this world. So in a way, he has to accept all the viewpoints that are available in a circle. 360-degree view. So somebody who has developed a 360-degree view is who you and I can call as, oh, he has no problem with this viewpoint and that viewpoint and that viewpoint and this viewpoint. So he is okay with all viewpoints. Oh, such a being. That's why everybody, when they are in trouble, God, please help me. Even a beggar, God help me. Even a Srimanta, God help me. Even a killer, God help me. Anybody, God help me. So, in a way, there's a feeling that God is someone who has developed this 360-degree view. And that 360-degree view is what Bhagavad-gita offers you and me. That is the first thing. When Sri Krishna says, remember me, what aspects? The way Sri Krishna looked at life, who I am, fundamental question, how I should function in life, what is the relationship between me and the world? All fundamental questions are answered, and that has to be realized. So this is the first aspect Sri Krishna is saying when he says, remember me and do your duty and fight your war. When he says, remember me, this is what he wants you and me to remember. The way Sri Krishna looks at the world, his jnana chakshu, his way of looking at the world, if for some moment his eyes were given to me, how would the world look like? That jnana chakshu, remember me. Remember to look at the world through the jnana chakshu, the eyes of the divine being. When you and I look at the world through the eyes of the divine being, then the world looks divine. And the divinity is naturally reflecting through those eyes. And that divine jnana chakshu is Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's secret sauce. Okay, this is the first aspect he wants you and me to cultivate. Then he's saying, surrender and fight the war. When you're fighting Arjuna, he doesn't literally mean that, you and I have to now go and find a war, another Kurukshetra. No, in a way, your life and my life is like Kurukshetra. But our war field may have different kind of people. We may not be using sword and arrow, but the arrows from our mouth can hurt other people. The actions from our body can maybe help somebody or maybe make somebody tremble. So like that, in a way, it's a war field. So Sri Krishna is saying, surrender and fight the war. Surrender. So there is a wonderful story. So the story is, there is this girl who's carrying somebody behind her back and is climbing a very steep mountain. It is such a steep mountain. There's another elderly person who is hatta katta and very strong. And he has done many of these trekkings. He's also walking. And he finds that why is this little girl struggling with that boy and all that? So he goes and stops her and says, why don't you put that child down and hold him and walk? That girl says, oh, he's my brother. He continues to walk. This person is a little confused. He again goes and stops her. He says, no, are you not tired? I have walked so many of these things. I am feeling so tired with only just a bag behind my back. You are carrying such a big boy. You would be mighty tired. Why don't you put him down and simply hold his hand and walk? She again says, he's my brother. Now, this time the elderly person loses. He doesn't understand. I am asking you to put him down. I'm not asking you what your relationship to that fellow. Then she says, Hare, how can my brother be a burden to me? How can my country be a burden to me? How can my family be a burden to me? How can anybody be a burden to me when there is love? That is who you're working for. How can anything in life be a burden when it is the duty, when it is the responsibility, when you're doing it as an offering to the divine? How can anything be less How when you do puja, when during your festivals, when you offer anything to the Lord, how much love and dedication. You may be fasting for many hours, but still you do. Or imagine there is a birthday of your child, yeah, and your child loves some particular food. How much of effort you put? Maybe you may even put 2 3 days of effort. For what? For simply offering that little thing to your child. Why? My child should eat it and enjoy it. And by seeing the smile on my child's face, I will feel happy. Is the only thing, isn't it? So, what matters in life is not what you and I are doing, it is with what attitude. For who am I doing what I am doing? Whatever I may be doing, for who am I doing matters the most. When I see that I'm doing it for the divine, that each and every step of my life is nothing but an opportunity that the divine has given to fulfill this particular life. The completeness of this life can be realized by taking each and every step. See, the mountain, climbing a mountain is not about reaching the top. Every step matters. If I keep a step without that awareness, I may even fall and may even completely die. But if I take each step, and when I'm taking each step requires a lot of effort. But if that effort is sprinkled with that feeling of love, then that effort no more becomes an effort. It becomes a great offering. Just like how you offer the sweet for your child, or you do the prasadam for the Lord. So Sri Krishna is saying, Arjuna, whatever you're doing, do with the feeling of as if you're working for me. Surrender to me means that. It doesn't mean where can I find the feet of the Lord? Everything is the feet of the Lord. So in a way, whatever I am doing is a offering to the Lord. So each step, do it as a surrender with the feeling of who am I serving? I'm serving the divine. In what form? In all the forms. As a person, as a tree, as an animal, as a water, in whatever form it appears. And I have the greatest opportunity to be of some value at that point in time to that form of the Lord, is what Sri Krishna is pointing at first and foremost. Surrender and fight the war. How to fight the war? We already saw. We already saw that it is what you and I constantly do that becomes a tendency, develops, right? So we saw an example. So here is another example, simple example, to again how easy it is to find that inner treasure towards something wonderful. Simple video. Somebody simply wants to put that ball through that hole. Again, notice in the beginning, he was not successful. It's such a short video. Let me just repeat it for you. So you see, fight the war. Do your duty, whatever it is. Find that perfection in doing that. What is perfection? Doing that with the fullest involvement, with the best possible intention of how it can be of value to somebody else. In this example, you saw that person simply wanted to make sure that the ball goes through that hole. Now, I do not know what is the thinking in the mind of that particular person as to why he wants to do that. But what is the lesson I can learn is that what I do consistently, what I do repetitively becomes big. That is where this next thing that Sri Krishna is teaching, fight the war. Fight the war doesn't mean that, oh, I have to do something big and miraculous. No, very simple. What I and you do every day, repetitively, over a period of time. It is like how honey, honey, goodidare halla in Kannada, there's a simple phrase. It is little, little drops that become a big ocean. It is little, little efforts, but done consistently. The same mind pattern can be used to develop a wonderful and meaningful life for you and me. And that's the power of this mathematics that you're seeing here. For example, I want to have a body that is very naturally healthy. So, what do I need to do? Maybe somebody says, if you wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and simply do 10 minutes of deep breathing, you will have a fresh mind and energetic body. Excellent. But I am not able to wake up before 7 o'clock. So, can I make a simple and consistent effort? Okay, today I'm waking up 7. Can I wake up over the next 2-3 days at 6:55? After that, can I reduce by another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes? Like that, in just no time, within no time, I would be waking up at 5 o'clock. Very simple, small and consistent efforts. The power of small and consistent effort. So Sri Krishna is encouraging you and me to fight the war with these kinds of small and consistent effort. And which is what our dasas have always said. Our Purandara Dasa has sung this wonderful song. How you and I, what you and I should do every day to realize our inherent Krishnatva. And two of the wonderful Atma Jyotis, Diya and Disha, for you and me, for this particular satsang, have offered this song. Let's listen to this.
I am Dishashini. I am Diyashini. Today we will be singing the bhajan Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya by Purandara Dasa. Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya Dina Dina Maduva Papa Punyana Vecha Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya Dharma Adharma Vingadisi Adharmada Naragala Pera Kattarisi Dharma Adharmada Vingadisi Adharmada Naragala Pera Kattarisi Nirmala Charati Charisi Nirmala Charati Charisi Parabhamma Murti Pada Kamalava Bhajisi Nirmala Charati Charisi Parabhamma Murti Pada Kamalava Bhajisi Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya Dina Dina Maduva Papa Punyada Vecha Manava Shodhisabeku Nitya Manava ನಿತ್ಯ ಮನವ ಶೋಧಿಸಬೇಕು ನಿತ್ಯ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
So, you and I have all these treasures, and these treasures are the ones which guide us towards the Lord. What treasures? The treasure is inside you. So first of all, realizing that you have these treasures inside you is the first treasure. And using Sadguru's Jnana, Krishna's Jnana as the treasure map, and that itself is the light. And when that light guides you, when that knowledge, that Jnana Chakshu guides you, you can see that how the life situation is an outcome of the mountain of the memory. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. The memory bank that I am carrying has become my situation of life, which in other words means I can change it, I can refine it. Whatever I do not want, I can keep it aside. Whatever I want, using that I will go. Realizing that treasure is also within you. The power to choose is within you. So helps you and me to bring out the Krishna from within us. Then seeing who you and I are working for. You and I are in this life working for the divine. Every step, it is the divine who's guiding you and me. Though it may look like a pitch dark place, but there is an unseen hand which is constantly guiding you and me. Every situation is for you and me to only evolve, to only find that wonderful inherent beauty in this entire existence. And all that you and I have to do is simple, small, and consistent efforts, and that will lead to much bigger changes. And this is essentially Krishna's eternal abode. And what has guided you and me, what can guide you and me, is this wonderful stone. What is this stone? Upperlight. It's a nice word when you look at this upperlight. You, okay, it takes you, there's a light in that, it takes you and me upper, it takes you and me up, it takes you and me to our highest. So this is the Ratnagiri. And where is that? Within you and me. And this is the story or the treasure hunt that I wanted to share with all the divine Atma Jyotis who are here today. Thank you very much. Hari Om.